Kamal Haasan's Thug Life, which is being directed by Mani Ratnam, has run into a real life showdown in Karnataka. Not on the silver screen, but inside a courtroom. The Karnataka High Court has recorded that Thug Life will not be screened in the state, at least for now. And the reason? Haasan's refusal to apologize for his controversial remark, one that touched a raw linguistic nerve amongst Kannadigas. At the heart of the storm is a statement made by Kamal Haasan during the audio launch of Thug Life, where he claimed that the Kannada language was born out of Tamil. That remark stirred a hornet's nest. The Karnataka Film Chamber of Commerce, or KFCC, swiftly retaliated, saying they will not permit the film's release unless or until the actor apologizes. Madam. But Kamal Haasan stood his ground. He told the court that he meant no malice. He even reached out to the KFCC. But then, let's all remember, then it stopped short of an apology. The High Court wasn't amused. I'm quoting the High Court here. There is no apology in it, the bench remarked. You may be Kamal Haasan or anybody. You cannot hurt the sentiments of the masses. The court reminded Haasan that India is divided on linguistic lines and that a public figure of his stature carries a greater responsibility. It was made clear artistic freedom cannot come at the cost of public harmony. Now, senior advocate Dhyan Chinnappa, representing Kamal Haasan, tried to downplay the outrage, saying the statement was misread and that the film marks a significant artistic collaboration between Kamal Haasan and renowned director Mani Ratnam. But the court stood firm, asserting that freedom of expression does not protect insensitivity. With no apology on record and emotions still running high, Kamal Haasan has agreed not to release Thug Life in Karnataka, at least until talks with the KFCC bear fruit. The matter has now been adjourned to 10th of June at 3:30 p.m. For now, the people of Karnataka won't be able to see Thug Life, and Kamal Haasan has chosen silence rather than come out and apologize. He is a master of words. He is a wordsmith. But then, no apology there as yet. Let me now go to the experts who are joining us. Bhavana Belegere, who's actor and producer, is joining us. Saurav Verma, who's a film trade analyst and ex-CMO, Geo Studios and Inox, is joining us. And renowned actress and also turned politician, Sumalata Ambarish. She's joining us on the phone line. A very, very warm welcome to both of you. Namaskara. That's very, very proper greeting today. Bhavana Belegere, let me come to you, Bhavana, considering you're an actor and a producer and very well known when it comes to the arts, cinema, advertising and other things. You know, I'm going to stick my neck out. I've done a lot of, opinion on Kamal Haasan. I think Kamal Haasan made a mistake and he himself said, I'm neither a linguist, not somebody who is an expert in languages. Then why should he say something like that in the first place? Number two, he also I think it was unnecessary totally. And then he said that I just said it out of love. I meant it as a lover of cinema. And cinema is a creative freedom, etc., but still, he has not rendered an apology. Bhavna, your first comment on this entire confusion, as it were.
Like I feel it's a pathetic thing that has happened, and I don't think it should have happened from Mr. Kamal Haasan, because since he is very well read, acted in so many of the historical movies, as well as done his reach is very vast and big, and the knowledge that we seen on the speeches that he's done before, we all think that he's intellectually very sound and sane. But then now talking about Kannada and then saying Tamil and Kannada and saying Kannada was born from Tamil and language, which is definitely not agreed at all, and we will not take it at all. We will definitely, we are taken aback, and we are now. I am feeling, shocked, and I feel Kamala Hassan should have not from Kamala Hassan. At least if there is some era gaira person who is knowledge unknowledge, he doesn't know anything, and he just blabbering something and telling something, that would have still said, okay, this person is dumb and foolish. But then it coming from Kamala Hassan and also now saying I'm not gonna apologize for it is definitely going reaching court. It's a big thing that Kamal Hassan is doing, and I think that's foolish thing that whatever has happened.
I spoke to you about the Sonu Nigam case. Remember where you said very clearly to me that, Sudha, I don't think anyone should ban an artist or ban a
Yes.
film. But in this case, Bhavna Bedagere, do you think because it's in court, you said that one has to tread carefully? Because I'm all for what the Honorable Court says. But when you look at creative freedom, do you think
No.
his film should be, stalled as it is today because it's releasing on the 5th? Bhavna?
I think, yeah, we cannot get him into Karnataka now. Is the biggest scene that's happening here. We are not inviting Kamal Hassan to Kannada industry, and we are not going to watch his movies in Karnataka. So I feel that's right also.
All right.
Because
Okay.
all we are asking is, sorry, Sonu Nigam's case was completely a different one, and he didn't mean what he said, and he was sorry about it also. And
Right.
here he is so adamant that he is right, and
Go on, Bhavna, I can hear
he
you. All right, let me go to Saurav Verma. Seems to be some audio video problems with Bhavna there. Saurav Verma, thank you so much for making the time. And I wanted somebody as a trade analyst because on a movie rides people's livelihoods. On a movie, it is not just the Friday or the weekend box office collections that people are now so used to it in the era of social media. A movie takes sweat, blood, and tears of lakhs of people. Those junior artists, those who are light boys, those who are spot boys, everyone. 300 crores on this film. And of course, Kamal Haasan's earlier film, the latest outing, Vikram, did extremely well. And therefore, and we know Mani Ratnam's Ponniyin Selvan did extremely well. Now, 147 crores purely one of the highest bidding so far as digital rights. This kind of a thing where he says that I love cinema, I did not mean any malice, but I'm not going to apologize. Does it smack of irresponsible behavior considering Raj Kamal is the producer of the film, so is Red Giants?
I believe that whatever he said has definitely hurt the sentiments. So that's uncalled for. And somebody from his kind of a stature needs to choose his words a little more carefully. And I just believe that as an entertainer, as somebody who depends on a fan following and people who follow their work, cannot take stands on things which definitely are not their turf. So, one is that. The second is, having said that, I also believe that there are two sides of a coin. Maybe whatever controversy is being made is also making sure that Thug Life, if people don't know, if anybody who doesn't know about the film is now aware of the film because of the controversy. So maybe it's been cooked from that perspective as well. That now everybody is aware of the film, that the film is releasing this Friday and it's not going to release in a certain part of the country. That also everybody is being aware. So the other side of the coin is that marketing wise, suddenly people who were not interested in the film are now interested in the film. There's another aspect of the whole situation is that once,
Saurabh,
yes,
wait. I'm
yes,
reminded of a famous author's book which was banned in the 80s, and then, it was sold like hotcakes, the pirated version of it. Are you trying
yeah.
to say that this controversy is created so that the film does better? But then Saurav Verma, Mr. Mani Ratnam does not need any such tactics, neither does Mr. Kamal Haasan. So, I mean, don't you think that that is taking it too far, Saurabh Verma? I'm just sorry, but I'm asking you that question.
No,
उनको
no, you
ban
are absolutely right. And I think people of that stature do not need this kind of a marketing. I'm not saying they're doing it on purpose. I'm just saying that this is going to, get the headlines in all the major newspapers. Something, the purpose of that audio launch was to make people aware that the film is being released. Now, when a controversy is raised, it's going to go into the mainline media. It's going to go everywhere. Anybody who doesn't watch film is also going to be made aware. I'm not saying it's being done on purpose, because that would be really really stupid to do that. Because like I said, it's a double-edged sword. And but the only thing is that a film like this, it's not his money. It's the producer's money. There's some 200 people who must be involved in the project.
producer,
It
but
takes
he's the but
more.
Raj Kamal, his it's his own production house, Raj Kamal, and of course there is another one which is Red Giant, which is owned by the, by the DMK, by Udinidhi Stalin. So it is own money. That's what I'm saying. That
I'm
Raj,
not sure about that,
no,
because
Raj
I don't
Kamal
think
is his own. I'm very sure
no,
Raj
no, it
Kamal.
is his own. But when you tie up in a production house, it's not generally the actor's money. Actor uses his brand value. It's other people's money.
Right.
There's so much of sweat and blood. So in my mind, he should apologize and just end this thing, because if sentiments are being hurt and he's saying he does not mean that, I think it just you just need to resolve it and
I
make sure that you.
Yeah, I completely agree, and that's why I wanted someone from the trade side on this show. There is politics happening, but politics will happen on anything. And Saurabh says it's so right, which I also totally agree. Sweat, blood, tears, and money. Kamal Haasan may have surfeit of money, but can he afford this? Because everyone else's livelihood also depends on Thug Life. Apparently, a beautiful movie curated by Mr. Mani Ratnam. Bhavna Belegere, I want to come to you, Bhavna Belegere. The point is, I think we've lost connection to Bhavna Belegere. Let me, and we are also awaiting Somalata Ambarish to join us. Saurabh Verma, let me come to you. So you made it very clear that he should apologize. Am I right?
Yes.
He should apologize. But tell me something, Saurabh Verma. For those who do not understand the trade, who don't understand the money which is involved in this, they may think such a big budget movie, such big actors, so rich, look at it, it's got Trisha, it's got Abhirami, it's got big actors, Kamal himself, multi talented actor, and Mani Ratnam, very big director. So what if the movie gets delayed by 4 days? I mean, after all, the court has summoned them again on 10th June. All right, 10 days. What is the big deal? Tell me something, Saurabh Verma. What is the big deal here? Don't you think it is immense financial loss because of this delay?
So I believe that we are in the business of selling fresh paneer, and I'm using a vegetarian example, because if the paneer is fresh, like people would want to watch the film on the Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If they don't throng to cinemas to watch it, the novelty value of the product goes lesser. And anyways, after Friday, there's a lot of word of mouth, things like that, that take charge, and it takes over even from the marketing of the film. So I just believe that whatever effort a producer, a director, or actor, or anybody does to promote a film, it generally happens till a Friday. And after that, the audience takes over. But if you don't give that right for the audience to, watch it, then it's the producer's loss. It's the person's loss who's putting in all the money, keeping in mind that, I am going to take a certain share from Mysore and Bangalore and other places. So I mean, there's a lot at risk here.
Belegere is back with us, who's an actor and producer. Bhavna, lot of politics being done on it, lot of politicians. The Chief Minister Siddaramaiah has spoken about it. Senior leaders of the BJP have spoken about it. But Shivanna, I mean, he also initially said it's all right. We all know that he respects Kannada. I'm not trying to, pull him in. He's innocent. He's a great actor, son of an icon.
Exactly.
Let's keep him aside. They are my favorites, Appu, the late Appu, and also Shivanna. I'm just asking you something, Bhavna Belegere. There is so much of ego here. The court said it. I'm not talking about politicians. I don't want to politicize it. But so much of ego. And the way the court said, and we can put up what the court said, he says you could be Kamal Haasan or anyone, freedom of expression does not mean you can hurt the sentiments of the people. I just
correct.
don't understand, this huge ego. I mean, I think actors are suffering from this epidemic called ego, because we see one actor, you know, who's been accused of murder. We see some other actor misbehaving with an actor. This is a pan-Indian phenomenon, not just in Karnataka, you know, Sandalwood, but it is all over which happens. Kamal Haasan's
Exactly.
ego seems to have got hurt. Bhavna Belegere, you know, just
Very.
think, is it also because he's now a politician? Is it because of that, you think? What kind of a pressure? But you're an actor. What is the pressure for you as an actor, for an artist? Unless my work is seen on the big screen, it is a waste. Don't you agree?
Yes, I think it's again I second Mr. Here whoever because ego one, and also a gimmick one, and also now that he wants to please a party, wherein if he can, you know, please one party and say Tamil is a
Why
thing,
not? What
biggest
happened to Sumalika?
script that is older than Kannada, or it can hurt Kannadiga
Lokesh,
sentiments.
put him
And
online.
Shivarna here, included Shivarna, he is just a guest there. He cannot, you know,
All
just
right.
get up
We
and
are,
say he can't
yeah.
guest. I
Okay,
hope
go
I'm
ahead. Go ahead, Ma. Bhavna?
audible.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
are now. Go ahead.
Yes. So I don't think we should pull, like you said, I second you here. We don't have to pull Shivarna here at all. He's very innocent, and he's just a guest there, and he wouldn't have reacted. Nobody would have reacted. Probably after coming back out, and then he would have told to
All
Kamala
right.
Hassan saying, because Kamala
Okay.
Hassan has been, he knows Kannada very well. He knows, Kannadigas have given him a lot of respect. His Munde Banni, Innu Munde Banni song is such a famous song, even evergreen song, even here till date. And as the actor, we have agreed him and respected him. We have a huge followers and fans, all those things. Considering that, I don't think Shivanna has nothing to do with this, and I don't think we should involve. But ego, like you
Absolutely.
said,
I second,
definitely.
third, ego is a problem. Kasturi Shankar, actor and activist, is also joining us on the broadcast. Kasturi, ego, ego, ego. I'm saying it thrice because look at the kind of, refusals that he has made. It seems like the only thing, the three-letter word has stopped him. He makes a statement which you and I discuss unnecessarily, totally out of syllabus, out of context. And now, wordsmith, he says, I love cinema, I love Kannada so much. This is without any malice. But the point is, there is no apology. Do you agree, Kasturi Shankar? Much like what the Honorable Court said, you could be Kamal Haasan, but you cannot possibly hurt the sentiments of the people. Kasturi.
Uh, after all this water that has run under the bridge, I think I feel that it's not like one side is completely spotless or faultless at this point. I think, nobody is even standing by Mr. Kamal Hassan's original views. He has himself modified it now a couple of times, and he's trying to make gestures without apologizing, because the apology seems to be something that I think he thinks apologizing means admission of guilt. We saw the same mentality in Udayanidhi. He said we have to eradicate Sanathanam, and then he refused to apologize for it and said, I stand by what I said, I believe in what I said, and then he gave like several interpretations and explanations of what he meant. But I think they think by apologies. I would say saying sorry is not even an apology. How about expressing regret for the unfortunate direction in which this has gone? And I say this because I feel like this entire issue has been hijacked by bullies. Asking for an apology is one thing, but threatening a person into submission is quite another. And it's very uncomfortable for me to see the wonderful people of Karnataka being portrayed as intolerant radicals by the rest of at least South India, where it's coming out in a very different way now. And it's really unfortunate. And I totally agree with the court when they say this could have been nipped in the bud. I mean, I applaud one's strength of conviction. I mean, he's standing by what he said. He is entitled to what he believes, whether it is right or wrong. But maybe some grace would be a better option than all this conviction.
Yeah, but Kasturi
Because-
Kasturi, you are an actor, right? I mean, you know that many livelihoods ride on this. This is not only Kamal Haasan film. He can go and do this. There are lots of people, spot boys and so many light boys and so many assistants. He can't stand on that, high and mighty ground and say, I will not apologize. After all, he can be graceful because it's for others, considering he's a producer. Because I think it is only ego which is stopping him from the release of a movie which every Kannadiga would love to see. Sumalita Ambarish, actor and former MP, is also joining us on this broadcast. Sumalata, thank you very much for joining us. If I recall right, correct me if I'm wrong, you did a movie with Kamal Haasan, but that never saw the light of day. Am I right, Sumalata Ambarish?
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah. Wonderful to have you on the show, Sumalata Ambarish. Why such an ego? First, you say something which makes no sense. I've been saying it. You are not a linguistic expert. You could be intelligent, but then intelligence doesn't mean that you have to opinionate on everything that is being said to you. Then he also says, I'm not a linguistic person or a historian, so why say it in the first place? Then he just plays with words, Sumalata Ambarish. He doesn't come to the point. Like Kasturi Shankar said, admission is the best way. Okay, I made a mistake. Kannada is not born out of Tamil. Kannada is like a sibling language. Why doesn't he say that? I mean, what is the big deal? And you are a star. You know that this delay is going to cause a lot of people money. Sumalata Ambarish.
Yes, that's what makes me, sad in all this whole ruckus that is happening, that cinema is going to suffer ultimately. And, there are, like you mentioned earlier, there are hundreds of lives involved in in a movie when it's getting released. It's not just about the producer himself or the actor, the hero himself. There's a chain, which involves like so many people down the line who are involved or who are impacted, by whatever decisions or whatever the outcome of this is going to happen, whether it's the distributors, the theater owners, and, down the line, if you come down the line, even the lowly wage workers, it affects everybody. So, yes, I think when one has taken a stand and then you don't want to come down from it, it does look as, it comes across as, being adamant or arrogant. I hesitate to use more harsher words because all of us in the cinema industry have huge amount of respect for Mr. Kamal Haasan. He is one of the most brilliant cinematic personalities we've come across in the last so many decades. So, I mean, he's too big a figure. He's an immense talent. But all that is on one side. But when it comes to his own movie and so many people involved in this, it doesn't take much from a person who's on such a high pedestal, who's placed on such a high pedestal, to come down a notch and say he needn't say that I've made a mistake. He could have still said I might have made a mistake. If that is so, please let it go. That's all it needs. That was needed, in my opinion. This is my humble opinion.
All right.
And now it's stretched to beyond something which is, happening. What is happening is very nasty, very unpleasant, and people are raking up all kinds of things on either side of states.
Right.
And it's really painful. Painful for people like us who worked in all the languages and don't belong to one place as such. This is very painful.
Right. Kasturi Shankar, let me come to you, Kasturi Shankar. I mean, Sumalata pretty much said what you said. You both are actors. You've worked in Telugu. You've worked in several other South Indian languages. So therefore, I'm asking you this. The thing is that, do you think, Kasturi Shankar, that his hyphenated role of being a politician is also, I think we've lost our connection to Kasturi Shankar. Let me ask this of Sumalata again. Sumalata, do you think, you have been a politician. Your husband was one of the greatest icons ever, as actors in Kannada, and We know his political journey as well. I'm asking you, Sumalata, is it because of his new, political role that he's taken? He's going to enter the Rajya Sabha, which is making him do that? I doubt it, because knowing Kamal Haasan from many years, it is just adamant. This is who I am. Take it or leave it. What do you think, Sumalata?
See, I wouldn't want to comment on what his political affiliations or his stance, because I would not at this point like to go into that. But definitely, I mean, when it comes to language, I think more than anybody, the Tamil public should understand the sentiment of Kannadigas, because Tamilians take huge pride in their language. I mean, they place it above anything else. Their pride in their language stems, it goes very, very deep. And so does the Kannadiga pride. So when you're dealing with a sensitive issue like this, you should really think 10 times before uttering such a statement. Now, once you've done that, whether it's just a slip up or it just was, done in the, in the moment, you can always modify it or take it back, and you don't become smaller by doing that.
All right. On that note, thank you very much, Sumalata, for joining us on the broadcast. Kasturi Shankar, thanks. Arot to you. Bhavna Belegere, always such a pleasure. Saurav Verma, thanks for putting the light on the finances of how thug life will suffer because of this long delay. And I think Kamal Haasan actually owes it not only to Mani Ratnam, but to thousands of actors and assistants who worked day and night in the heat and rain to make this movie, of which I think people in Karnataka will not be able to see it for now, but who knows, maybe after 10th of June.